We have an expert in this case. Let's welcome Mr. Hector Espinosa, who is a psychic medium. Good afternoon, Mr. Espinosa.
Good afternoon.
First of all, tell me this. You're a psychic medium. This is something that you're born with, right?
Yes.
Or that you develop through life.
Well, it's like exercise. You have a certain ability, but the more you work it, the better you get at it.
Okay, for how long have you been working at it?
Full-time, 17 years.
All right. Now, you've been listening to the case.
Yes.
You've seen some of the evidence, I suppose.
Yes.
Okay. Are you able to tell me anything without having been in the apartment?
Well, I can tell you that most of what they spoke of are things that can happen in that world. Nothing is black and white, and many things happen that we have no explanation or no reason. So the objective is to find out whether that house is truly haunted or not. Now, there are old houses that spirits live there, and some families or some people they're okay with, so there's no problem. But if somebody arrives in that home that spirit or entity that's there does not like, they will make their life impossible to move them out because they feel that's their home and not the people that are renting or living there.
Is there anything they could do to eliminate these phenomenal acts from happening?
Plenty of things to do.
Like, for example?
For example, depending on the type of house and the flooring, they can clean the floor just with vinegar. But don't, like most homes, they dry it out. Leave it to evaporate. The next day, they can come in with sage, smoke it out. If it's a very light negative energy, it will go away. If it's a spirit that lives in that house, then you got to make physical contact with that spirit and try to dialogue and help it along, understanding that it's not alive and it doesn't no longer belong here. And you try to help it move into the light, away from
Sorry, Dr. Polo,
That's
I can't
something
go
that's
through
beyond our
that.
control. I mean, we don't know how to do that. I can't let her go through
I'm
that
not
anymore.
doing that.
Just buy some vinegar. And
But that should be something that you should be
should
doing
have
because
done
you're
it.
the
You already
owner,
knew
right?
about it.
Why do
You're
I
the
have to
owner.
go mop your floors?
You already knew about these
Mr.
spiritual things
Espinosa,
going on.
do you sense something here in this studio right now? Around them, around the landlord?
In my opinion, whatever's happening to them is in that house and not on them directly.
It's not related to them. It's related to the space.
Correct.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you, sir.
Espinosa.
Thank you, sir.
It's been very enlightening. All right. Listen, I'm having a tough time with this case. I have to tell you. I'm sincere. So let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll explore this a little more. Don't go away. I have disclosed to the tenants that there has been paranormal activity reported in this apartment at other times, and they sign it, and you're free of every problem. I don't see the damages here, except that you guys are just uncomfortable. And you're scared.
I can't sleep.
You are scared
She
of
can't
things that really aren't. They're strange.
Well, today it's pictures. Tomorrow it could be nights.
Can it-
who
can it get
knows?
worse?
It could be anything. Who knows? I mean, you can ask this man. I mean, anything can happen.
I mean, really.
In time, the longer they're around that kind of energy, the more it acclimates to them and knows how to play with them.
See?
I don't want to deal with that. I don't
I
feel
can't put
safe.
it, she's not even
gets
going to go to
easier.
work anymore. And then it's going to affect me. Then we're not going to have any jobs.
The worst thing you can have in your life is a tenant who doesn't want to be living in the space they're living.
And that's understood.
They're going to make your life impossible.
But at the end of the day,
Do you hear me?
it's hurting my pocket.
I know it's going to hurt your pocket, or you're going to find the next tenant who's not going
It
to
is New
care.
Orleans.
But it takes
Okay,
forever to
listen.
find a tenant.
Oh, it
But you
takes.
didn't have it-
It
you
takes
haven't had a
forever
problem.
to. Okay, maybe that's why you did not disclose to them the fact that she had told you that
That a
she
baby
had
was crying.
experienced some very bad events in that house.
I just didn't think it didn't merit
You know,
Of course it-
a baby crying,
Listen,
a two-way radio.
She told you more than that. She
I
told
told
you
you so that
about
you
the
would tell other
energy. She told you about the shadows. She told you about the radio. She told you she had to live out of the apartment for the last 2 weeks of the lease because she just couldn't be there. And I think that your failure to have told them, you could have told them. You could have said, listen, I have to tell you something. The last tenant that lived in this apartment reported some activity that can be considered paranormal activity. I am explaining this to you. I'm exposing you what I've been told so that you can make a free will decision on what to do regarding this lease. Not only that, you should include it in your lease. You should include a paragraph in your lease that says,
paranoia
I
bullet.
have disclosed to the tenants that there has been paranormal activity reported in this apartment at other times.
I'm not a
and they
paranormal-
sign it, and you're free of
I'm not
every
an expert
problem.
to call it paranormal or
But you
not.
should at least say
I'm
something.
sorry, but you know that they call it paranormal, and you know exactly what
Louisiana.
paranormal is because this term has now become mainstream. So I think we should all be
Chupacabra.
aware of the world we live in, and we should comply with the law. There are other states that require you to tell the tenant if there's been a suicide, a murder,
Understood.
or a terrible experience in
Understood.
that house. It was your obligation to tell them, to inform them. You did not. I grant your petition, and this is how I rule.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.